is sweeter than sugar, baby. This love is sweeter than sugar, baby. This love is sweeter than sugar. The knowledge or perspective I'll bring to the panel on February 15th. I mean, what does a single girl know? What does she know? But I know that I look at people and their emotions very specifically. I'm a Scientologist, and I use a codified way of just understanding where people are emotionally, and that's not like too much or what they say you being extra. It's just about, you know, you save a lot of time and energy if you can tell how a person is off the cuff. And then also probably bring my knowledge around what we call the ARC triangle. It's about being able to stay in communication. And as you increase that communication, you're going to increase affinity for the person and increase reality with the person. And so I just kind of have that knowledge in my arsenal when it comes to developing relationships. I love Asadah. I love myself. No, I really, 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 really love myself a lot. And when I say that, what sits at the base of that is my happiness, right? If something doesn't make me happy, I do not do it. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't get high, I don't do any of those things. People think they feel better doing them, but you can look at them the next day and see how they're not feeling better, right? So that's just a thing for me. So my happiness, and I think throughout life I've maintained a happiness by myself. Like, I create the happiness, and I think it is important that everyone be able to do that for themselves, you know, because a lot of times we look for happiness from outside of ourselves, especially in relationships. You know, we want somebody to tell us that we're beautiful, we want somebody to embrace us, or whatever that thing may be. But I get satisfaction from achieving my goals. Ooh, I love achieving some goals. And I get satisfaction from how I make people feel when I enter a room. When I enter a room, I can see people light up. And that's just a reflection of just me being free, you know, really being free and being happy. And I think people get a joy in seeing that. They want to emulate it, but you have to have a certain level of courage to be that way just in life. And so me loving myself, I think it manifests itself through my confidence in how I wear African clothes all the time in America. Ooh, you know, wear a lot of colors, and you know, if no one's on the dance floor dancing, I don't lay on the wall. I actually go and I dance by myself, and it gets other people comfortable. And so that self-love, I feel like self-love comes from being able to satisfy yourself, you know, being able to validate yourself and feel good about the effects that you're creating in the world. I feel really good about the effects that I'm creating. When I talk about satisfy yourself, I'm not talking about sexually. That's a whole nother thing, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that at the end of the day, you know, I look out into the world and look at how I've helped to improve lives around me, and I feel good about that. And that self-love comes from the ability to do that. The panel that's going to be on February 15th, EmBody is going to rock and roll, bringing it to the Silver Room. Why it's so important is because I don't think we get to talk about relationships a lot. Talking about relationships is a little taboo. You can't even talk, you can't even hardly ask about no pregnancy. You can't even hardly ask about nothing without somebody telling you to be quiet, don't ask that, be fresh, you fresh, don't say. You know, it's like we've been stopped from inquiring about relationships and sexuality and all of that. And so it's made for a community that has a lot of deviance in the area, right? Because we don't get to talk about it. So the panel discussion is important because it allows for us to talk about relationships and be open and be candid about what we feel, and probably, you know, here's some things that'll help us out that we didn't know. You know, it's a reason why Steve Harvey's book was so big, because women feel like, oh my God, this is what men think. And, you know, we are wondering what each other thinks, you know, instead of just us being outright and direct with each other and respectful of each other and how we think. There's a lot of assumptions, but we were raised to assume about a lot of this stuff. And so it's made for a community that doesn't understand a lot, but hopefully, and I hate that word, faithfully, these panel discussions will help us confront what we were not willing to confront. And in Scientology, we say the definition of confront is to look at without wanting to run away. And so we need to be able to look at these things and not want to run away from them, and then get some clarity and then build some better relationships.
This love is sweeter than love. This love is sweeter than sugar, baby. This love is sweeter than sugar, baby. This love is sweeter than sugar.